Hello everybody and welcome to another one of our leadership training videos. Now in these leadership training videos, probably by now you know that I share ideas and insights and thoughts into what it takes to be a good leader, what it takes to be a great leader, what it takes to improve your leadership skills, what are the leadership traits that you need, and of course how can you become more efficient in everything that you do in your journey. Now, the leadership aspect is not just for those who have leadership positions, it's also for entrepreneurs, those who run their own businesses, those who are creating their own ideas. Whatever your journey is and wherever you are, when I talk about leadership, it is in the broadest sense of the word, but also in terms of you leading other people. So I want to welcome you and invite you on this particular journey that we're going to go on today. And today we're going to talk about a topic which is listen more and speak less. Listen more and speak less. And we're going to dive into that in a few minutes because it's so important to listen more deeply, more impactfully than speaking, which we all like to do as leaders. My name is Igwe. I have over 35 years experience leading, training and developing teams across the 5 major markets that I've worked in across Europe, but also with teams across Europe, Middle East and Africa. And I invite you to provide me with your comments, your thoughts, your ideas, what resonates with you, and of course subscribe to the channel so you know when other videos are becoming available. So let's get into it. Let's talk about listen more and speak less. And I guess one of the first starting points is for us to remember that when you are invited, as I am doing now, to listen more and speak less, it's because people need the following. So you need to consider this when you are leading people. People need to be heard. They have a story to tell. Wherever they are, whatever's happening, it could be on a particular day, it could be a particular moment in that day, it could be an event that has impacted them. So if you're talking all the time, how can you hear? How can you listen? Beyond being heard, they need to be understood. Because you may hear what they say, but you're not really connecting with what it is that they are saying and therefore leading you to a level of understanding. So we all need to be understood as well. And within that process, we need to be considered. So when I know that you are listening to me and you are listening deeply, I can then say, I know that my boss is listening and is considering me as an individual. Because we all want to be considered, we all want to be thought of. We don't want to be a number, we don't want to be just a person in the team or the company. We want to know that we have a role. And perhaps one of the most important aspects, I think anyway, is that people need time. Remember, not everybody communicates in the same way. Some people take more time to say what they think or feel. Some people need to understand what it is you might have said previously and then integrate that and see how that affects them. And if you're speaking all the time, you're not giving them time. But it could also be time in the sense that you make the time. So you invite them to explain to you or express to you whatever it is that is going on. And I think today, even more so than previously, we do need to know that our bosses are listening to us. But not just listening, they're hearing. And through that hearing, they are understanding. So those are some of the starting points for you to be aware of when I say speak less, is because people need these various aspects. But it's not just about them. It's about you as a leader as well. Because if you're talking all the time, there's so much that you're missing. There's so much you're not paying attention to. And you need to change that in order to become more aware. More aware of what? More aware of what's going on around you. More aware of the team dynamics, the company dynamics, the effects of various different aspects. You need to be sensitive to where people are in their own journey with you in your team or your company. And as you do that, You have to learn to pause or maybe stop. Hit the pause button in your mouth, in your brain. Just stop. And as you stop, you then hear more because you can see more going on. Maybe for those of you who are parents, but even equally as a child, imagine how you were brought up. So think about it in the context of being parental. I always use this as one of the major benchmarks for me, is how would I like to be treated within that environment or in that situation or whatever's going on, as it turns out. So on the one hand, you need to be parental if you have the privilege of being a parent. How would you, or how are you growing, helping your children and supporting them? So what is the parental need that is there? And maybe you look at all this and you say, look, I don't know how to do it. I need to know where to start. Well, inevitably, one of the first areas is to be coached by someone who can help you understand not only how to listen, when to listen, but the impact of your listening on somebody else. Because there are people who talk all the time, people who love telling stories as leaders, as bosses, or just saying, this is the way, it's my way or the highway. Whatever the approach you have, some people do have a difficulty in getting rid of that, making some space. So maybe you need some coaching from somebody who has experience in that area. Because at the end of the day, these are the results that you want to have. You want to be able to show that there is genuine listening, a genuine caring, a genuine openness, genuineness from your point of view, but also, to be honest, from the other person, because the more that you give them space to express themselves and to be heard, the more chance they are of building mutual trust with you. They trust you and you trust them. And because you're doing it in an environment of confidence and genuineness, in other words, you're really paying attention because you really want to know. When that happens, there is, I wouldn't say a bond necessarily, that maybe sound a bit too strong in certain environments, but people will come to you more openly. They'll be more open to expressing their thoughts and ideas. And this may be a big word, and maybe you think, well, it's a bit unusual to use that word within a working environment or business environment or whatever it happens to be, but peace is really what it's all about. It's about generating peace within your company, within your team, within your department. It's about peace. And through that peace comes harmony. Harmony is really important because that's the circle that is created, that balance, if you like. You speak when you have to speak, but you stop and you say, what is on your mind? What is it that you want to share with me? So I invite you, I encourage you very strongly to think about this and say, the more I can listen, the more connected I can become with my team and those that I lead. And the company will feed back to you so you can make even better decisions and choices around the whole process. So listen more, speak less. That's the key. And that'll give you so much opportunity, to be honest, to really connect with people. And trust me, it'll improve your leadership skills incredibly, because you will learn that it's not always about you or me speaking. It's about hearing what other people have to say. That's the great thing about that particular process. So hopefully you've enjoyed this short video. Please feel free to like, comment and share, and of course, subscribe to the channel and hear about the other videos that are becoming available. And I look forward to meeting you once again very soon. Thank you.